So tell us about American Gangster.
You can start that, Sean.
So American Gangster, because we started working with Puff after a while
because we got Asim signed. Asim,
who was on Loud,
who was
signed to Puff.
Signed to Puff.
Yeah.
We
signed to us, and then
we signed him in the
Did Mayhem have anything to do with this?
Yes, Mayhem.
What did Mayhem. That's how I know it.
Yeah, Mayhem and Asim and Facade was the guy's name. I think Facade and Mayhem
Queens,
were partners. Right? Yeah. And Asim's from Queens, so he was signed to them originally. I think Mayhem. I don't know if he was signed to Mayhem, but Mayhem was involved.
Something to do with it.
Yeah. And
that's
then,
how I know it.
Yeah. And then when he got dropped from Loud, he got released. And actually, L was DJing for him when he was on Loud.
Yeah.
So, that's how.
Just remember that. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and I would just leave them in my crib. And when I had to go to the office or do whatever, and they can just
like
make
I
joints.
gassed Sean up to buy a Digio 1 Pro Tools.
Mm-hmm.
And I gassed him up to buy a mic and all that. And then I was like,
he gassed me up.
Here.
Nah, it was because we didn't have the money. Like Sean was the only one with the money at that time. So we were like, Sean, we need Digio 1. Right. He was like, Sean, and at that time, Sean was like, all right, what you need? We got it. So it was like,
and then I had an MP. I had the 2000, and the XL was coming out, so I used my expense account and bought an XL, and I gave him the 2000, the old 2000.
But then that was crazy because I didn't want to make beats at the time. I know we just went somewhere else, but we didn't. I didn't want to make beats at the time, and it was just sitting there, the 2000. I was just like, so let me just. He was like, yeah, I'm about to sell it until I think he wanted to sell it. He wanted to sell it to Kai, and so he was like, till my man come gets it, then take it. And then, like probably like 2-3 days later, went to Sean's house and I played him. He was like, you're making beats, and I was like,
oh, is that what this is?
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. All right. He was like, nah, go ahead, man. And then he was like, well, just go do some records, because Sean had mad records at the time. He was like, just go ahead. And I was just like, okay. Mm-hmm. And then I just never, it never stopped.
Yeah. And then, so that's how I see him after the Loud days. He would just be in his house. He would call us up like, yo, I'm really still trying to, do something. And so I left him in my crib, and they would make music. And Sav, actually Sav, Sav was part of it. He was signed to Sav as a manager.
That's how it all started, because Sav was working at Hot 97. So Sav came up with the plan. He was like, yo, we need to make bed songs, like the songs you guys played between going commercials and all that. Right. So we started doing that for everybody. We was just like, yo, I don't care. You tell us what we gotta do for it, and we'll do original music. And then next thing you know, I think Sean got a call. It's like, yo, I think Puff heard one of the joints, and Puff wants to sign Asim. He was like, huh?
Yeah, that's how it happened.
How did he hear the song?
I guess
he heard Asim rhyming on a promo at Hot.
Wow.
Yeah. And he called me and was like, yo, I heard this kid is signed to you. What's up? Wow. So then we signed him to Bad Boy.
All right.
And then that's how we kind of had that relationship.
And then what did
you being in the studio all the time?
So what did you work on for Puff? What songs did you guys do?
We did
Press Play.
We worked on Press Play. Like we kind of was there for everything. For the whole thing. But we did the joint
Get Off, and we did
Get Off, the breakbeat joint with the smile. So he's like, get off, nigga.
And then we did. What is it? What's the song we did?
And the joint had the same sample that Khaled used for
what's the name of the
Grammy Family, but the song is called, I forget, man. But it's a song
So you did shit during the Press Play
era.
We
did the Press Play era because we would always be in Daddy's house working on our scene, just working on beats. So then that's how we built.
I hate that when people talk about being in Puff's studio, they have to say Daddy's house because it sounds mad sus.
What? That's what it was.
No, it just sounds sus.
Okay.
Like I was up in Daddy's house just sounds new.
I mean, yeah, it was good. So we were in the studio.
Exactly. No, so
that's how the relationship started.
Right.
Yeah, we knew each other, but that's how.
But why did Jay? What was the Jay and Puff situation for the?
I'm getting to that.
I'm getting to that right now.
I'm getting to that. Just get you was rambling for a while. Let me get my rambling.
All right, go ahead.
It all makes sense. So then after this time, Puff was in San Tropez. And he called.
Obviously.
He texted us. He texted me and was like, yo, Jay is about to do another album, and I'm going to executive produce the album. I want to do the album with y'all. He wants to do straight hip-hop shit. Like, send me every beat.
Every beat.
That you got, that y'all have. Every beat.
What does send me mean?
Like send
email.
There was email?
Yeah.
Okay.
That was
How long do you think 2000? It was like 2008.
2008.
Yeah. So we sent him all of the joints. Then then he comes back. We're in the studio. We're like, yo, so what's up? He's like, and I was like, yo, just call Jay now then. What's up with
because he came in the studio. He was like, yo, Jay like that. I was like, why don't you just call him right now? Let's figure it out. He was like, what? all right. So he called them, and we just still talking. And he like, yeah, Jay said he been in 10 minutes. I was like, yeah, all right, nigga, like, whatever. Like, Jay be here in 10 minutes, like, whatever. So,
the funny part about you guys not believing this is you are sitting with Puff.
Yeah.
Like, it's not that far-fetched at this point.
Yeah, because, it's like your man. It's like you don't.
But y'all knew him.
Yeah,
so
we know him.
yeah,
It's like, you know what I'm saying?
yeah.
I don't look at him as, like, I don't look at him as, like, Puff. I was like, that's my nigga right there. Like, so we're talking casual, like, he's going to be here. Jay's going to be in 10 minutes, right? So we go actually in the A room, and we sitting there, and then Jay just walks in. So I'm like,
T-shirt,
no, like, I'm like,
wrinkled
oh,
T-shirt,
shit.
like
regular,
by
super
himself,
regular, like
by
looked
himself.
like by himself. He didn't even have a security with him. He looked like he was like, he said he was at home, just like, and he just got out and just came straight to the studio.
Came, and then we started. He's like, all right, we'll play. I got 10 minutes to start playing me beats. First beat we played was Sweet. And then he stayed. Actually, he's supposed to be there for 10 minutes. He stayed about 3 hours.
Yeah.
Shit.
Then he did one song.
what'd he do?
Maybe. The song called Maybe that didn't make the album.
Oh, where's that?
I don't know. It's everywhere.
Yeah, it didn't make the album.
It came out though.
Yeah, not really, but yeah.
It did.
It ended up somewhere.
Yeah,
I can find it.
Stupid. Yeah.
Okay. Got it.
And then 3 days later, we're actually in the studio, and we're working on beats for the album now. And then Jay just walks in again, like unexpected, just walks in and just start going like this. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? Like, what are you doing? Like, so he's like, all right, come in the next room. And then we went in the next room, and then he played Sweet. And then I looked at Sean, and I was like, this shit is really happening.
Yeah, he played Sweet and No Hook.
No
like
hook.
out of the beats that he took 3 days ago, he had done Sweet, No Hooks.
He took the
those
beats and recorded at his studio.
at Rock the
Rock the
Mic,
Mic, yeah.
Came back, and then that's when it was just like an assembly line. So then he's like, all right, what else you got? So then we
at
gave
Rock
him
the
something.
Mic?
He did his
This is
vocals
Rock
at
the Mic era?
Yeah.
This
This is not
What is
98.
his album?
is not,
What is his album?
It's
I was there
2008.
when Rock the Mic was built.
Are you? You think this is?
I'm
I think this is Reasonable Doubt. No, we're talking about American Gangster. It's
What,
not that long
what
ago.
year is American Gangster? I'm
2008.
Yes.
Yeah.
Album maybe's out
sorry.
in 09.
Yeah.
I left in like 07, I think.
Yeah.
So yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah.
Time adds
All right,
up.
fine.
Here's my bigger question though.
Okay.
Why did Jay and Puff, who have a kind of random relationship, get into this conversation about
Look,
working
I'm
on
gonna
this
speculate
together?
why. Can I speculate?
Speculate.
Tell me if I'm right or wrong. The movie is about a hustler in Harlem.
Got it. You're smart.
That's what I'm thinking. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Is that it?
That's
He thought
exactly what it is.
Puff would understand the sound that he wanted.
Yeah.
Well,
It's the same.
I think he did. He chose right. Yeah.
he chose right, and it was as far as making concept albums and like you listen to Life After Death, it's like that kind of
Puff's good at that.
movie.
Oh, yeah, because
the whole
album
everything
was, like,
blends together,
All
and that's
about
what
what's the guy's name?
Frank White. I mean Frank Lucas.
Frank
Lucas,
Lucas. Yeah, and we didn't. And when we started, we didn't know that it was a. He never said anything about it being a soundtrack for a movie or being related to a movie or anything. He was like really
Your
short
beats
with
fit
information.
that
He wasn't
sound,
giving a lot
yeah.
of information. He just said what he wanted. Like that's the sound. And then after Sweet and No Hook, we went to see the movie. He took us. We did like a private screening of the movie so we could kind of get the vibe. And then that's when Guru was like, "Yo, if you need anything from the movie, let me know because I got it."
And that's all right.
And then we start taking clips, and then we go back and forth.
And was Kanye just he happened to be around when y'all did Rock Boys or no?
Yeah, like fucking Kanye was around, fucking Beyonce was around. It was
LeBron
weird.
James was around.
Yeah,
Obviously, you need LeBron around. It's not really. You can't really get a rap song unless King James in the building.
yeah.
Like it was like that was like the most random shit that was happening. Like you would walk in the studio like 1 minute nobody's there, then you walk out and walk back in, and then you fucking got Jay-Z, Puff, Beyonce, and LeBron James, and I'm walking in like, oh shit.
Yeah,
what
I'm just the nerdy guy
Yeah.
making the music.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I'm just trying to make
Excuse
this.
me.
Yeah, tell the
Excuse me.
conversation that Beyonce was having with him, and he didn't know how to answer the
Oh.
question. He was like still kind of
Oh,
like,
so like
she's
we're
talking
in
to
the
me.
room, and Puff is playing Rock Boys and everybody's dancing. So I'm like Beyonce is like in like towards my back, so she taps me on my shoulder. And I'm like, nah, fam. So she taps me again. So I turn around. I'm like, she's like, hey, is that Fela you said? I'm like, I just could not get it together. It just wasn't happening. I was just like, no, it isn't. She's like, oh, okay. And I'm just like, oh shit.
And then when you finally answer, you have to son her. You're like, no.
Yeah.
No, it's not. Yeah,
Crazy.
yeah.
Yo, you know what's crazy about that too? Like when there was one day when we went to Rock the Mic early and Jay was in there by himself. we were like towards the end of the album. We were doing American Dreamin' was like one of the songs that almost
still
didn't
no
make
emails.
it.
So we have to like every time we do something, like we add something, we have to take it over there. It was like no emailing.
They don't want it.
Like,
they didn't want to leak it out.
Go.
So I'm over there, and it's just me and Jay in the room, and he was like, "Yo, man, she's such a good girl, man. Let me play you something." And he played me American Dream. No, it was American Dreamin' with Beyonce on the hook because we didn't have no hook. And he's like, she never knew. I never asked her to do this. She just knows because that's his wife. I guess she's around and knows what you're talking
missing.
about, what's missing, whatever. He was like, when I went to the gym, I came back. This was on my garage band. And it was American Dreamin' with her singing the hook. But we didn't use it, but it was just ill that kind of shit. Like,
even Pray, like in the beginning.
I love Pray.
Yeah, in the beginning, Puff was saying a prayer. And then next thing I come in and rock the mic, and he's like, yeah, Beyonce just did the prayer. So we like, what? Yeah. And it just sounded so different. Like Puff, like, you know, that's what you want to hear because you heard him do the prayer on, like, you know, what is it?
Life after,
like on Nobody.
On Nobody Kills You. Yeah. So now I was like, oh, okay. But then when Beyonce, I was just like,
it
just took it to another level. But that was
How
great.
was the checks from American Gangster? Good?
Very good.
Yeah, they were very good.
What that album end up selling?
Oh, it was platinum. I don't know where it's at now. I know it went $1 million. It didn't do like $3 million.
No, it wasn't a crazy one.
It was like over $1 million though. It was over $1 million.
It definitely that album changed my life for the best and the worst.
Why for the worst?
Because I got a little crazy. I thought I was unstoppable. I thought I was the best.
It happens to all of us.
I thought I was the best producer in the planet. Like I didn't care who you were.
Yeah, like I just did 6 Jay-Z.
I did six
Jay-Z songs.
I'll tell you how you fucked up. You didn't get them tatted on your arm like Ye did when he first did.
Right.
When he first did.
And that's where I messed up.
Wait, hold on. When Ye got the rock?
When Ye first did H to the Izzo, he tattooed the verses on his arm. That's one of his like main first tattoos, I think.
Yeah, and he has a list of all of the songs
Jay-Z
that
songs
he's done on his forearm.
Yeah.
Like for Jay-Z that he did.
Well, I remember I saw him. He was like, "Yo, I just got this tat."
Yeah, I remember
the song with Hov. It was still grease on. I was like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah,
when Jay-Z called me a couple weeks ago to explain why he could never copy Kanye, he didn't even throw in, "Oh, by the way, he has my songs tattooed on his arm." That's nuts. That's my son.